Hey, challengers, welcome to week 4. Congratulations on making it this far. Usually at the end of these challenges, there's a few people that have maybe fallen off a little bit. So I always like to issue like a word of encouragement, and that is congratulate yourself, right? You took an opportunity to step out and try something different that you've never done before. So take a moment and pat yourself on the back for that. And remember that the message that I had at the very beginning of this was as long as you can pick up one extra habit, that makes all the difference in the world. Just follow the ripple effects of that out throughout your life. I heard a good quote one time that said you spend the first half of your life developing your habits, and the second half of your life you spend living those habits. So any headway or progress you can make now, hopefully will pay off in the future. So nice work, guys. So I was trying to think of a good like theme for the week, and we have Independence Day coming up next week, and I just wanted to talk about what it means to be an independent person. Not necessarily to be independent and like living on your own, although that's a great thing, but I mean just independent in terms of knowing who you are as a person, with limiting outside behaviors or distractions. So one of the lines or rules in Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life that I really enjoy is to treat yourself as if you were someone you were responsible for caring for. Meaning that, like, let's say you told me, Kyle, you're like, hey, Kyle, I want you to take care of me. I want you to show me how to, if you were gonna cook all my meals for me. If you were gonna watch over my behaviors, how would you adjust my behaviors so that I would be cared for in the best way possible? And to take that as an example and look at yourself from kind of a third perspective point of view, or fourth perspective from above, right? And just observe yourself, not necessarily in day to day, but also in week to week, and also month to month and year to year. What are the things that you're doing that maybe aren't having the best overall impact on your well-being, whether that's financial or mental or physical? And the reason I bring this up is because one of the things that's pretty common across all religions, which I think is not to be looked over, is this idea of fasting. Not necessarily with specific things, but with a variety of different things. So, like in Christianity, we have this idea of Lent, right, which is letting go of one thing for a period of 40 days. And I think it's not saying you have to be religious, but I think it's good to take that idea or concept and execute it in your own life. So I do this periodically with things like coffee. Like if I'm drinking a couple cups of coffee a day, I'll take every now and then I'll take a couple of weeks off and just stop all caffeine usage. And just to kind of it's almost like an empowering feeling, right? To understand that you are not subject to the things that you use, but that you are using them with a specific purpose in mind. And I think it's important to do this with many different things, not necessarily positive things, right? Like I brush my teeth every day. I'm not telling you guys to take a break from brushing your teeth every day, but anything that you view as being like an energy waste for yourself. And the things that kind of come to mind to me are things like caffeine. Alcohol is a big one, right? You can see how alcohol, but financially, mentally, physically, can be debilitating for you, especially if you like go out hard one night and the effects you feel the next day, right, are always kind of rough. And to really kind of re-examine your relationship with alcohol a little differently. And I'm not a perfect person. I've been drinking since I was 16. The most time I've had off from drinking since then was 2 months. And so I'm not like preaching. Please don't view it as that way. But more encouraging. If you've never taken some time away from alcohol in your adult life, maybe it's a good opportunity to kind of step back and kind of re-examine that relationship. Many of you guys were like me, right? You started drinking when you're like 16 or 18. And at the time, alcohol seems to be very capturing, right? People are always having a good time. When you wake up the next morning after you binge drink when you're 18, you can do like 3 backflips out of the bed. You feel no pain. And then as you get older, the relationship starts to change. It turns on you a little bit. And, for me, for instance, if I go out and drink hard one night, the next day I'm definitely not doing anything. I feel like garbage. And then 2 days later now, my motivation is like shot. So one thing, I took 2 months off last year. And one thing I noticed during that time was my motivation levels were much higher. My mood was much more even. And I'm at the tail end of a month right now, and yeah, I just think it's worth examining. So the videos this week you guys will see are a video on alcohol and caffeine. So you guys can just post a little comment in the GroupMe chat of what you thought about those two videos. You're welcome to kind of talk about your relationship with those two things as well. And then the last thing that I'll mention is another line from Jordan Peterson, and that kind of goes hand in hand with this challenge, right? Your goal is to learn as the hero or leader of your tribe, to go out into the wilderness and learn or experiment with different things, and then to bring back that bounty or wealth of knowledge back to your tribesmen, back to your family, back to your life, essentially. So think about that as you guys go into this last week of the challenge, and let me know if you guys have any questions. The checkout for the challenge will be next Wednesday. Next Wednesday we'll be doing the checkout, so keep it up, guys. Good work.